Hi, I thought I would give a fifth update on the tower garden. I'm going to disassemble a few plants on it. And before I do, I just want to give you an outline of what's happened and why this is happening. Here's, as you can see, my tower garden. It's really pushed out tremendously. And this is after massive pruning back, especially of tomatoes. You can see, the ends of these tomatoes are all trimmed off, trimmed off, trimmed off. This is essential because the tomatoes were just going gangbusters and very prolific. If I take the flowers, like these guys up here, and I just tweak them, that's enough to pollinate. Once pollinated, getting some good tomatoes. Here's some that are growing, and they'll be harvested, probably another week or 10 days. But at the same time, I've got two other vining crops. You can see these leaves vining up through. One is a cucumber, and the other is this one right in front of me, which is some sort of I think it's a melon, like a cantaloupe. They have been very prolific. They put out tons of flowers like these guys. And and big vines, lots of flowers. These are male flowers and then followed by female flowers. Of course, I'm inside, so I've got no bugs. They need cross-pollination. So I've been hand pollinating, first tried it with a paintbrush, and then I've taken a situation like this with this female flower bud right there that's open, or a little more open than that. And then I would take a male flower like this guy, and I just pull that off, strip off the leaves, and then hand pollinate it. But unfortunately, pollinations have not taken. I've got maybe 2 or 3 cucumbers that have taken, that are starting to grow, and this is one right here. Let me see, where is it? Oh yeah, right in there. That one is growing, so that's a good success, but 0 of these squash have taken. I've decided I'm going to cut back and take out those squash 100% and replace them with something else, maybe zucchini. And it's not that I love squash, and the zucchini flowers are big enough, they're quite huge. They're like 10 times bigger than these guys. So, and I have outdoors had success hand pollinating, big squash. So I'm going to give that a try. I'll put them in these lower level holes, and then they can sit on the base. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's going to open up a lot of space, going to remove all these big leaves, give more room for other stuff. So you can see I've got a lettuce in here, doing quite well. And hidden in behind there, I've got kale, dinosaur kale, Swiss chard down there. A few other things that have done well. Here's some dill. Now this dill is done fantastically well, and you can see even the big stalks are going up. I'm getting actual flowers on the dill. So the herbs have done fantastic. They're getting overcrowded. So I'm going to clear out some stuff. Here's a pepper in there that I put in. And again, it's overcrowded. So I'm going to thin things out. I got basil above that's been massively trimmed multiple times. And parsley, I'll cut that back. Let that pepper grow out. See my mint underneath there. It's getting buried by these tomatoes, so do something with that. Here's cilantro. Cilantro has done fantastically well. Look at those big, huge stalks. And underneath, there's another lettuce. I'm gonna try to thin out, and I've got this collard greens. They've been very good. I've harvested a couple times, and I've cut that back. You can see I cut the stalk way back there. You see how I cut it back on that stalk, but then in the elbows, I get new leaves coming out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a bunch of these leaves back and then just let new ones grow. And in the process, provide a lot more room. Go from there. So the overall, the tower garden has been fabulous. It's worked far better than I expected. Done everything I wanted. I've had 0 bugs, so that's fantastic. That was my big problem with my dirt-based towers last winter. So that's good. These things have grown massively, very quickly. Very nutritious and delicious. And my big problem, if you can call it that, is managing my space and figuring out what I want to grow, how I want to grow it, and doing it in such a way that everything has room. Now, just one final comment is that with my tomatoes, one of the reasons I chopped these off is I don't want them just to go crazy like I did last year where I ended up with 15, 16, 17-foot vines. I want to keep them down to 6 to 8 feet and then focus on fruit production. And instead of doing the normal tomato pruning where I trim out all the little babies, I want to allow those to take hold and grow. You can see as I go farther down, let these little babies come in and fill in, so make it a little bit bushier and thereby keep it a little more compact. So that's the plan. Tomatoes are growing. I'll have a tomato harvest, like I said, another week to 10 days. And I've got to remove these melons, seed some other things to replace, and then harvest, thin out some of the lettuce and herbs to provide space for light to get into these other plants and behind. And I'll be, like I say, trimming them out and using them as best as I can going forward. That's it. That's the update, and working great, and just learning what's the best thing to put in here to maximize my harvest. But yeah, it's been good. Been really good. So keep on growing. Enjoy the winter, and we'll talk to you again.